Hi, thanks for hitting play. I've got an interesting item here from Polo. It is a tuxedo jacket. Well, I mean, without the pants, it's really just a dinner jacket. It's from the 80s. I believe it's from the later half of the 80s. During that time, Polo's labels had what appear to be little hand stitches around the border. They stopped doing that in the 90s, so there's no question that it's from the 80s, and earlier in the 80s they had these like yellow threads that were kind of zigzagged around the label. So that's how I know the age. The condition, if I was just to look at this jacket and say when was it made, I would think it was made yesterday. It is absolutely perfect, mint, beautiful. There is no signs of wear anywhere. It is so fresh and clean. I'm blown away that we actually got this thing in this condition. I don't really know how it was preserved so well, but it is absolutely mint, and it's a beautiful jacket. A lot nicer for what it is than just an ordinary polo suit jacket from this period. Let me get my notes here. It's marked a size 38 regular. It measures true to size. So it was let out a little bit too. It was let out on the side seams, I mean, properly let out. If you saw the fabric in the back, you'd never know that it was let out. You can just tell from the lining. So it actually, when it was originally made, it measured a little bit smaller than a 38 regular, which is very common for polo stuff made during this period. But for today, it does measure, by current industry standards, it does measure a size 38 regular. And it's a great model. Love the shawl collar. The fabric is, it's a full winter weight. I guess you could, it's kind of a flannel. The fabric's got a little bit of a nap to it. The pockets, there's no flaps on the pockets, and I mean, these things look like the tack stitches were just removed. They're not droopy. I mean, they always, go a little bit below. As soon as the threads come out, they go a little bit below the other side of the besom pocket. But this is, I mean, this thing looks brand spanking new. And I love the way it fits. I mean, I don't really have a use for this jacket. It fits me perfectly. I don't know how it's going to fit over this shirt, but I tried it on with a different shirt and I just loved it. And the shoulders aren't too wide like a lot of the things in the 80s were. The lapels, just can't say enough, but just the way this thing, I'm 5'10", weigh about 165 pounds. I think this thing fits me perfectly. I like my stuff, kind of slim fitting. The length of the jacket for me is perfect. Sleeve length is perfect. I wear about a 34-inch sleeve length on a dress shirt. So if you're about my size, this is how the jacket is going to fit you. Well, close to how it's going to fit you. The lapels are made of, I'm sure they're made of silk. This is grosgrain. So it's got a little bit of a texture. Can you zoom in on this just to get a little bit of texture on the lapel? Got that? Okay. So this is just a great item. And let me tell you, this is really, really rare. In all my years of business, I mean, I've looked through thousands and thousands and thousands of used blazers. And before I pick the stuff, I'm very selective. I've never come across anything like this. This is really in perfect condition. Definitely in my opinion, a collector's item if you're into vintage stuff. If you have any questions, please send us an email. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for looking.